So I'm sitting here after therapy, reflecting. I've been working with my therapist for almost a year, and something that has been coming up a lot in conversations and meditations is making videos like this one, because I get asked a lot about self-care, about being calm, being centered, about how I manage a lot of different things, projects, and businesses. And then I get a lot of anxiety about actually sitting down to do these things. So my therapist gave me a little nudge today. I'm not sure if or what I'll do with this video, but I figured I'd start with the silent retreat I just did. So I think people hear the word retreat and their mind goes to a beach and relaxation, books, maybe yoga, alcohol, food, whatever else you think of whenever you think relaxation or getting away from your everyday life. So while I have been on retreats of that sort, the silent retreats that I've been going on the last year have not been that way. They've been really, really hard. So you're in complete silence, with the exception of meeting with a group, depending on the retreat, 2 or 3 times a week, just to kind of check in, make sure there's, nothing too overwhelming coming up that you need to talk about or would benefit talking about with someone experienced who is facilitating the retreat. My experience, I've gone on 3 now, and they definitely have gotten easier with each one I've done. But what I've noticed is a lot of fear come up, a lot of everything I repress and push down and ignore and keep busy so that I don't think about comes right up to surface, because you're not reading at all, you're not writing, you're not supposed to be doing anything other than being in the present moment, being in your body. The last 2 retreats were different from the first one I did. I'll just reflect on the most recent. You wake up and on and off throughout the day for 12 hours, you're meditating. You're doing seated practice, you're doing guided practice, you're doing walking practice. Even on the breaks, you're mindfully eating, you're mindfully doing laundry or whatever tasks you need to do, doing as little as possible and being as much as possible, just allowing things to settle. The visual that one of the teachers gave in this past retreat that I found really helpful was of a snow globe and how our minds are often like that, the snow globe all shaken up. And so just allowing it to settle so you can just be and think more clearly. So that's what I've struggled with a lot in the retreats, just fears, things coming up, stress, overthinking. Am I making the right decision with this? Should I be doing that? Or something that came up a lot this past retreat was consuming way too much sugar. My tendency has been to fixate on things. It's just, I think, one of my overall mechanisms in life when I feel like things are out of control. It's to focus on myself and to really control or over criticize everything I'm doing or not doing. That became very, very clear. And so my experience, the retreat itself is a lot. It's very intense, and it doesn't really make sense, a whole lot of sense at least, while I'm there. However, afterwards is when I really begin to notice and benefit from it as things begin to kind of download and make sense and become relevant in everyday life. So that integration for me has made these retreats worthwhile, and that's why I will continue doing them, because afterwards it brings great clarity, great calmness, and centeredness that if you know me for a bit, I've struggled to have my whole life. I My coping mechanism from very early was keep busy, and you won't feel anything or nothing will bother you. No one will bother you. Just stay really busy. And so um, mindfulness is the opposite of how I've always lived my life up until a few years ago. So this is not something I've just born calm. I'm naturally not a calm person. I have a lot of anxiety. So these retreats have really helped me see that and understand my coping mechanisms and how they have been useful up until this point, and how they've gotten me through really difficult traumatic situations, but how I just don't need them anymore. And it's helped me become aware of a lot of different things that I just don't relate to anymore. I think we are so conditioned and programmed to think and value things a certain way. And so it's given me the time to just completely detach from all of that and see what really matters to me. What are my beliefs? What are my values? Am I doing this because she wants me to, or he wants me to, or they think it's best for me or for them? Or am I doing this because I feel it is in my own best interest? So it's given me a lot of great insights. I know this is a little bit all over the place, but it's kind of what has been coming through after my experience. So, if any of you are curious and learning more about, the silent retreats I've been on, or just mindfulness in general and how to cultivate it, how to foster it, I'm here for you. It's definitely something that requires commitment and patience and practice. But it has the ability to completely change your life. So if it's calling you, maybe reach out or look into taking a class or taking a retreat.